Yay, everybody! This is Thomas and Brian, and yeah, we should do a scrum, but it's just there's only two of us. I don't know. Yeah, well, let's what you've been up to?
Haven't been up to much, I guess. Not since yesterday's meeting. But today I'm planning to work on some stuff, events, I guess.
Yes.
Guess that's the plan as well.
Yeah, basically yes. I haven't done much since last night either, so the scrum part of this meeting will be extremely short today. Yeah, we have a list of things that we can do on the events, Epic, as we agreed on yesterday. And I was planning to do some lo-fis, but I never managed to get around to it. I sat down with it during my lunch hour, but then I started to, just to browse around and look on different things. And so when I came up with, I found this little. I'm playing around here, with this library called WhatsApp.js. It's not much, but we can. It's quite interesting. We could potentially use this or not. You can set how many dates you want to display from today's date in this with this library on events, and then on each day you can have several events basically. And that could come in handy. So header for event 1. Yeah, you saw I answered your question about this capybara.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If that's okay, I'd like to keep that. So what do you think about this? We could have something.
Is it something like Ice Cube?
No, this is just for the front end.
Okay. But does it also do the creating?
No. This is just for displaying stuff,
Okay. I mean, from rules, it's generating dates. Does it do that?
Yes.
Okay.
We would have to, when we parse this, when we hit the database and in the view, we would need to display those dates grouped. So if there are several events on one date, then we need to group them, kind of, and add this data date tag attribute to this list item, and then within this list item we can have several like divs here that I just set up, and several events listed under each date basically. Perhaps a category or something,
So why do we want to generate it on the client side now?
Oh, we don't want to generate them.
Is it just for displaying?
It's just for displaying.
Yeah. Okay. Does it work well with the Ice Cube rules? How do you set up the?
I haven't tried that at all yet, so I don't know. So we could have, whatever. No, actually, I'm just playing around with some front end, with the front end things right now. I haven't. Well, let's see here. Website 1 user info. Did you create a feature branch or something for the events thing yesterday?
Oh, not yet. Sorry, I can do that now.
All right, that would be great.
Which story are we gonna look at?
Yes, let's have a look at that. Pivotal tracker. Events. Yes. Create event upcoming. Yes, create edit upcoming event instance, perhaps. Create edit upcoming event instance. Well, perhaps we should start with creating new stories for those things that we agreed on yesterday.
Okay. Did you not create them? No.
No, I did not create
But
them.
then we can't vote for them.
Yeah, then they need to be estimated. I'm just thinking
If
we
it's just
have
refactoring, should we just mark it as a chore?
Yes. Yes, so.
As long as we don't change the front end too much.
But we do change the front end. The thing is that we do change.
Okay.
So the new category for events, that could be a chore. Filtering on an index page, that's UI changes. Only one instance displayed on event show page, that's also a UI change. Introduce pull down for event actions, yes. Introduce a pull down for event actions. A menu, as we spoke about yesterday. So these are all UI changes in to some extent.
Okay.
So we need another person in here so we could vote on stuff at least. Could you see who's online while I write these stuff up? Perhaps we can try to invite somebody in, so we can have a vote.
Sure.
on some stories. Okay.
Looks like Christopher might be online. Should I ask him?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Where am I? Here.
Okay. Looks like Christopher might be able to join us.
Cool. Cool. As a MOOC student. So that's done. Save and new. Filter.
Holding this lightsaber.
Who said that?
Hi, Chris.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, how you doing?
Good.
Long time. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy everything.
Oh, thanks for commenting back on those, pull request comments we had yesterday.
Yeah, no, thanks for taking the time to review. I know it was kind of a small pull request. But...
Yeah, well, it's great. Have you had the chance to sit down with those and make those small updates yet?
I made one of them, the revised text for the Scrum tweet. Pushed that one through. I commented on your comments for the other issues.
Have you seen his responses, Brian?
I've read some of it. I'm still a bit concerned about that after each, because I don't think it works that way. After each should only execute after the expectations are done. So I'm not sure if that's working the way you expect it to. If I'm quite not unsure how that's working at all.
I mean, I could move the it's hangout.save is really what we want.
Yeah, but
have execute. I can move that into the test. I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
But what I'm concerned is, since you put it in the after each block and the tests are passing, normally what I think would happen is after each only gets executed after the test is done and whether it fails or passes. So,
I don't know, but if you take it out, then the tests fail.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a bit strange to me. Okay, I guess that works somehow.
Let me look at it. I'll probe it and see, what is actually happening.
Yeah, try that, because normally what should happen is that after each should execute only after the test is done, whether it passes or fail. It's not supposed to be part of inside the expectation.
Okay.
Keep on talking, guys. I have two more stories to add. Then, if we could.
Oh, what would you like to talk about? How are your holidays going?
I gained a few pounds. I ate way too much. But I got some nice Christmas gifts, and I was able to give some nice Christmas gifts to other people. And I did a fundraiser. Yeah, I did a fundraiser, and I was very happy about that. We raised some money for the refugees in Syria and Iraq.
Okay.
And yeah, and I got to cook for 200 people. So Christmas food for them. So that was great, and they all ate it without throwing anything away. So it was really nice. So that made my day.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It became a family thing because I cooked and my wife baked, and the kids were with us and they helped me with my cooking. And Oliver, my oldest son, he took care of the dishes. We got to do all this in a industrial sized kitchen, with the proper equipment and everything at our local church. So they have this huge dishwashing machine. And he liked that, so he was making the dishes, and then my youngest son, he baked together with my wife. So we were all there for like 6 hours preparing stuff, and then the day after we held this fundraiser.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so it was a good thing. I think it's good for the kids to take part in things like that. To do some good, especially during Christmas time. And then on Christmas Day, a mosque burned down in Sweden. Somebody thought that Christmas Day is a good day to burn down other religions' holy, sacred places. So
Yikes.
And I wrote a post on it on Facebook where I said that I'm ashamed as a Christian that this is happening in a Christian country, you know. And I got so much hate mail, so I have my, you know, I have to look over my shoulder now. No, I don't care. But bring it on, motherfuckers. Bring it on. No, but I, you know, I think it's disgusting the way we treat people and of other religions in Europe, actually.
That is somewhat alarming.
Anyway, so that was my Christmas. How was your Christmas, Christopher?
It was pretty good. I mean, we didn't really do much. Certainly not like you did. We mostly just stayed home. We had the in-laws over. You know, sort of typical celebrations. On that advanced user search story, I'm working on it with Norbert, and we've made progress, but he's just taking some time for the holidays, so I imagine we get started on it again early January.
All right, cool. Cool.
I want to go now.
Not yet, but...
Dad, here's Darth Vader.
Oh, very good. That's excellent.
So here we go, close. And the last one, inches, yes. Now I may have fooled myself. I accidentally closed the icebox here. How do I get it back?
The icebox in the sidebar on your right. Just click the icebox thing. Left. Sorry.
There you go. Yeah, of course. Thank you. Yes. Now I personally like the, you know, when you redesigned the project's show page, Christopher, you introduced this pull-down menu for project actions. You remember that? Yeah. I was showing that to Brian and Michael yesterday, and we're gonna do a similar thing on the events show page, actually.
Oh, okay. Is there a lo-fi for that?
No, unfortunately not. Yes, site. No site. Order. To see actions. Yes, well, well, we can fix that because you guys are English speaking. I am not, so it's better than me.
What was
All right.
that?
No, I'm just talking to myself right now. Save. Yes, we have 4 stories that we would like to just have a quick vote on, if it's possible. And we can start with add new category to events. Today we have 2 categories that each new event can be tagged with, and that one is Scrum and the other one is pair programming. And yesterday we spoke about the fact that new students of the 169 MOOC would need a category of their own to tag their events with, and we said something about that this could be this new category could be edX SAS homework, or perhaps just SAS homework category, or SAS assignment or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So any ideas on the category name? I'd like to keep it as short as possible, but also as generic as possible. So homework, I don't know, SAS assignment or SAS, Any ideas, guys?
Sorry. Okay, so this would be pair programming on a SAS homework assignment.
Yeah. It could be pair programming on an assignment. It could be it could be a homework assignment, but it could also potentially mean that they just want to meet up and talk about stuff, that has to do, or study together or something.
Okay. I don't know.
I would just call it SAS pair programming.
I think the same.
Pair programming?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's just do a quick vote on this.
One issue I might raise concerning how these categories are stored is that they're stored as strings in the database.
They are?
Yeah. And really they should be stored as integers using the, you can use the enum construct in Rails 4.
Yes.
I don't know if it's worth changing it at this point, but it makes it easier to work with these things. Because it's sort of fragile the way it is now. If you decide later that you want to put a space in between pair and programming, it's going to break a lot of functionality that might depend on the value of this string.
Okay, I see that. I would say that it's a little bit outside of the scope of this particular story, but and this is a pure backend stuff. So perhaps we should set up a chore for that, not even a feature.
Could do, but then if you store it that way, you kind of reduce the amount of event types you can have. I'm not sure what Sam is thinking, but if he wants to make it flexible where people can create their own categories, then storing it as enums is not going to work.
But we don't want that. I don't think we want people to be stored. We haven't.
Okay.
It hasn't come up as a discussion.
Okay, then fair enough.
And I would say that since we are now giving people a lot of space to maneuver around this site as it is, I think we want to keep things down as much as possible. So I mean, I would say that having predefined categories is a good thing for us actually, because potentially we can end up with different spellings, as Christopher mentioned, or some spam in this categories table or something. So I would say that we hard code them as we do now.
Okay.
But if you want, Christopher, if you want to have a look at that, feel free to set up a chore for that refactoring.
Okay.
That would be great, I think. But well, let's keep it outside of this particular story, though. All right?
Yep.
Cool. How do I make you not see my chat window? Well, I just switched to you for that. Can we go to vote now?
I can still see your chat window.
No, you can't.
But don't worry, I won't cheat.
Yes, you can see.
I mean, you could just slide the window off the edge of your screen or something.
Yes, but then I don't know what I'm typing. God damn.
Well, you could ask us to switch to the views of our own faces instead of
Yes, switch to the view of your own faces, guys. I know that there is a way to do this because Sam does it all the time, but I don't know how. So. Okay, but yes. All right.
Okay.
Yes. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Did I write anything?
Yep,
yes,
you wrote it.
All right.
We see it.
All right. So, 1 point. Close. Okay. Another story is it's about the index page of events, and now then we have the only events category that we are displaying right now on the index page are the Scrum meetings. We want to display every category, but we don't want to overfill the events index page. So we want to be able to filter on by categories on that page. So either we create some sort of jQuery function snippet that toggles the visibility of divs that are tagged with this category, a specific category, or we can introduce some tabs or something. You had an idea, Christopher, on your lo-fi regarding the projects index page, that you could have 2 large tabs, my own projects and other projects, I think you called it. And something like that could be introduced on the event index page as well. That's the general idea.
And what would be the tabs? It would be pair programming and Scrum.
Yes, and the new category for the MOOC students. So there will be three tabs basically.
I think that it would be better to show everything and then have a filtering mechanism.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough. I think so too. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I have no preferences. I think it's either way basically. We were thinking about some checkboxes, for categories, or I don't know if that's good user interface.
Okay. So are we currently displaying the category with each item in the list?
No, we are not displaying that because the only events we are displaying here are the scrums. We don't.
Right.
Actually, we don't use this events pair programming category for anything right now. But even if we did, we don't display it on the events index page. This is only or should at least be only the scrums. Basically. I don't know if somebody has made a change to this, but the way I set it up initially, that this page was only to display scrums.
I think it should really be a filter. The categories for each item should be displayed with each item, and that we should probably do a lo-fi before we get too far down the road.
All right.
I could probably repurpose the one I did for the I'm forgetting what it was now. The project's index page.
Projects index, yeah.
And then just rearrange it a little bit, but try to keep to the same sort of UI elements.
That would be great because one of my goals is that we should keep these two index pages rather similar, using the same elements and stuff. So the user is kind of he can recognize himself in that. So you know what I mean. The way things are right now in this application is that so many people built it, and there are different interfaces and different ways to display stuff. On different parts of this app, and if you would be if you would like to make a lo-fi for us on of this page and do it similar, keep in mind that we will implement that project's index page of yours at some point. That would create some sort of consistency for the user in the interface. That would be great, actually.
Yeah, I can do that.
Wonderful. All right, so let's not vote on it then, but rather say.
Well, perhaps I'm wondering if we do vote on it, but you create how you can create subtasks in the story. That the first subtask is to create the lo-fi.
Okay.
And then it's estimated, and we know it's probably going to be not a 1.
Does that mean the lo-fi will be part of the story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's up to you guys whether you feel like we should vote.
This is not a. This is mainly a front end thing. The right thing to do would be to make a lo-fi first, then estimate the story after that.
Okay.
But we're not creating much of new functionality, but rather.
Hello. Just stop.
Lo-fi you create, right?
Sorry, your sound was breaking up.
I think that. Oh yeah, okay. As I said, I don't think we will create any new functionality, but rather display whatever information we already store, but in a different fashion, basically. So I would say that Christopher's idea that to integrate the creation of the lo-fi to this story is not a bad thing. It's a very pragmatic approach, because then as soon as he creates that lo-fi, we can agree on it in a meeting or whatever. And then we can move on and start coding this thing without having to wait for another another meeting where we are at least three people and stuff. So it's not a bad idea, although I'm open to suggestions, Brian, if you want to handle this
depending on how the lo-fi goes, that could change what's required in the story. So I think the requirements are not clear enough without the lo-fi. That's my opinion. And also that would affect the other 3 stories you have in there. Update show page, add pull down.
Well, I don't think so, because to be honest, the 2 other stories are only on the events show page. It's not on the index page. So they are separated in that way.
Okay.
And this lo-fi, Christopher, is only about the index page. It's not about the show pages. All right.
Okay.
But okay, let's. The thing here, Christopher, is that we need to have all these changes in place. But the first days of January, because the new MOOC starts at January 6th, and we want this to be implemented by then, basically. So my question to you is rather, when do you think, if you would, take upon yourself to work on this lo-fi, when would you be able to do that?
Well, I have a thing I have to go to tonight, but when I get back, I would estimate that it would take about an hour
to
do this properly.
Okay.
So let me make a commitment here then.
So,
I'll say
until tomorrow, same time, basically, tomorrow 1900 UTC. You think you could have it done for us by then?
oh yeah.
Okay. Then let's
Cool.
create this lo-fi and return to this tomorrow then.
Okay.
That would be really wonderful. Okay. That's fair enough, Brian, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So let's switch attention to the show page. As a site admin, in order to make the experience for a visitor better, I would like to display only the necessary information about the next upcoming event instance. Okay, the story for this, you feel free to rewrite this, but let me just explain what I mean here. If we have a look at the events show page, it's way too much information here, and it's not displayed in a, I don't know, pretty or good fashion. We are displaying this upcoming schedule in a very strange way, I think. We're mixing date types, we have too much info, etc., etc. So we want to simplify this and only display the necessary information, the bare minimum, for people to see what this event is about and when the next instance is due. And if you are logged in, I would like to display here where this edit schedule button is today, or perhaps a pull down with some of the actions.
Can I make a suggestion on this page?
Sure.
I think the live soon, that's sort of like a status indicator. It's in the wrong place. It should be right next to the item in the schedule that's about to go live.
Yes. Actually, I think it's going to give way at least, well...
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but we're only going to display one upcoming instance. So I would say that this live soon button could actually go close to the title or just underneath, something. I don't know. But I understand what you mean, Christopher.
It's ambiguous. I don't know what live soon means. Like you could have
we agree upon that. And I think there is already a pull request made by Sam that changes that.
Okay.
I think so, but never mind. But still, probably it's gonna just disappear, at least in the first instance of the story. I don't see any reason to have it there at all, actually, because the live soon also indicates that somehow to the user that this would update itself, but you actually have to reload the page for it, to see any changes. So this button is not dynamic in any way. This message. So I would say that we can get rid of it totally, basically. Yes. So I would say that perhaps we should do a lo-fi on this one as well before we do some estimation. Perhaps we could do this in the sparring session. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Sure.
Right.
I'm not very good at lo-fi stuff.
But fortunately, we have Christopher with us, and he's the master of that. So, you want to share your screen, Christopher? Perhaps pull up your whatever tool you're using to do lo-fis.
Sure. How do I do that?
And while you doing that, I can just take off for a minute. I'm just gonna have to say good night to the kids. Okay.
Okay.
I'll be right back with you. I focused on your screen now, so that's the one being recorded, and I'll be back soon.
So what program are you using for lo-fis?
I'm just using Adobe Illustrator.
Okay.
Project landing. Ooh, what's this? Da-da-da-da. Sorry, bear with me here. I'm not even sure if it was this machine that I was using.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, you know what? We'll just start over from scratch. Okay, so we'll take a screenshot of. Which page was it?
The event show page. So just pick any event from the list.
Let's pick one that has a description. There we go. Okay. So we need a title at the top. We need some paragraph text. Should be anywhere. Okay, so Pacific, Rim, Scrum, and Pair hookup. And then it says weekly on weekdays.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. Me and Thomas were talking about that yesterday. I think it can be worded better.
So it repeats weekly on weekdays.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so what's the next thing? Let's get rid of this. Live soon is going away. The description. And a schedule. Okay, so why do we need the schedule? What is it telling us here?
I think what me and Thomas want to reduce it to is just when the next event is happening. So I think the whole schedule, I think it was supposed to display the upcoming 5 events of this type. But yeah, me and Thomas thought that it makes more sense just to have the next one. to be shown. Does that make sense?
Okay, what is the edit schedule thing?
I think the edit schedule changes the repeat time, like the repeating rules, I guess.
Okay, so can we put that into the sort of like the actions menu, that one of the items would be like, you know, edit the schedule for this event or something?
Sure.
How do you do it on Meetup? You see how this sort of works?
Yeah.
Sure, I'm just gonna find.
I like this. This is similar to what I showed you on CodeBand, Brian. You see here on my screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could have one date and then information about each event. You know, ordered by time underneath each date, basically. I think it's a good thing.
Okay, so if we do. So I'm just gonna steal some things from meetup.com.
Sure.
How long do we have?
Today?
Yeah.
I don't know, Brian. Do you have to be someplace?
I can stay for another 45 minutes.
Yeah, me too.
I only have a starting time for these.
Yeah, we have a duration also, so we can calculate the end time.
So could we do something like what they're doing here, where they say 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. UTC?
We could do that.
Do we want to display things in UTC or in the user's time zone?
Preferably in user's time zone, and today we do both.
Yeah, let's just say the user's time zone.
Anything else? Okay, so do we need to address the fact that there may be more than just the one upcoming instance of the event?
No, I think that little text there, the event repeats this many times, is good enough. Or, I don't know, have some kind of calendar view, but I think just the one looks good. I don't know, what do you think?
I think that if we display this this event repeats weekly on weekdays, for instance, then we should say someplace like above the Monday, January 8th that you just work with. We could have next occurrence or next upcoming occurrence or something, perhaps. I don't know. Again, perhaps it's just not necessary. Let's keep it to the minimum. The question I'm asking myself whether a user could be a little confused by seeing that this is a repeated event, but only seeing one date. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's got to be, this is the next one. This is the one we're making a big deal about. But then there are also several others that are happening after that. Sorry, I'm a little disjointed here because I couldn't actually. I think I did the file for the what was it? The project index page on another machine.
Okay, no problem.
Starting over from scratch here.
Well, how about not displaying this event repeats weekly on Wednesdays? Because perhaps it's just not necessary.
Yeah, or it might be displayed somewhere around here. If we say this is the next one. And I don't know what wording makes sense. Say.
Yeah, that is gonna be too much info again.
It may not be. Hold on a sec. So next. I'm not too concerned with whether the content actually makes sense. If we find a way to really sort of emphasize this one over the others, then it won't be overwhelming. If we really want people to pay attention to this one.
Yes, but okay. Let's just ask ourselves one question. Why would he? I mean, is this information about the upcoming ones? Is it in any way relevant to the user?
Yeah, I think it will be, because when a person wants to say he can't make the next one, he wants to know when there are other ones that he can make.
Sure.
So I think so we must have an option to view it somehow.
So how about displaying it in a I don't know, a model or a, revealing that information by clicking on some accordion thing or whatever, to hide it, but have it somehow. Perhaps. Or this is an occurring event. See more dates here or something.
Yeah, I like
this better actually.
Yeah.
And remove the next, perhaps.
Next.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would say this is better.
Okay. So really, the description is probably the next most important thing. Okay. So as a user, I remember this problem from when I was new.
Okay.
That I didn't understand what the names of the events actually meant. So I didn't know, like.
Right.
really what a Scrum and Pair hookup was.
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously, you know, if you think about it, you can figure it out, but it wasn't something that kind of resolved instantly.
Mm-hmm. Personally, I'm not very fond of the hookup term, but it's just my personal opinion.
So is this is a Scrum? This would be a Scrum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Are they all Scrums, I guess? Yes, they would all be Scrums. If they're scheduled, then they're likely going to be Scrums, right?
Yeah.
Well, yes. If they have repeats on them, they are most likely to be Scrums. Yes. But they could be pair programming sessions that somebody knows. You know, if somebody knows, like we had back in the days when Sam was hosting the pair programming sessions on Makers Academy each Wednesday. Do you remember that, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that could potentially be scheduled. You know, every Wednesday, for instance. And I guess that some people could have, you know, in their calendar, okay, so each Friday I can do pair programming, so let's set that up as a series of pair programming sessions.
If it sort of helps to put a category somewhere, like maybe as a tag, but.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there should be a link to something like see more Scrums? Or yeah, okay, that could be a link.
To where, Ryan?
If we implement the filtering, it could link to the filtered page directly. Look into the Scrums, like look at other Scrums, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. But only by making it a link. You know, we don't have to, you know, explicitly say that. I think.
No, I guess so. Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, learn more about Scrums.
No.
Let's consider the case of a new user, Agile Ventures. They may not know what the deal is with Scrums.
Yeah.
They may not know very much at all.
Gotcha. So,
it's kind of like, this is a Scrum. Do you want to know what a Scrum is? Click this link.
mm-hmm. Okay, I can buy that. But that should point to Brian's idea about, you know, linking to a filtered index page. That's one thing. This learn more about Scrums that should kind of point to our getting started document with a anchor tag of Scrum. You know, a section that is actually about Scrums, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything else we can do to sort of cater to new Agile Ventures users?
Just one thing, Christopher. I would say we could remove this event as a Scrum, but rather place the category as you had before, like Scrum, just above the Pacific Rims, you know, above the title, but keep this learn more about Scrums, you know, as you had at the bottom of the page. That could be a good thing. And also, I guess I don't know your take on that. The font sizes, we should keep the different font sizes to a minimum. So I think that the title is one font size, or
oh yeah, no, I'm not worried about that at this point. I'm mainly just using type size to indicate like how important something is.
Yeah. Well, actually, the Monday January could be another one of the sizes, but then the description should be the the third size, and then we should have the links and everything in the same size as the description, basically.
I'll clean it up. I'll find the template I used for the other page and then just copy this over and adjust the styles. Compare that to what we have here.
Do we need this link? This. We had this functionality to edit the link manually before, Brian. I don't know. We kind of never used that after we created the Hangout connection application.
I don't understand what it is.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's supposed to be maybe before we had the Hangout connection. It was where you just copy and pasted the Hangout URL when you create a Hangout. But now it's almost redundant. But I'm just wondering if I have used it once, I think, when
the Hangout connection went down because Google changed something with their API for a few days.
That could happen, but I think I was thinking more of two people created a Scrum and we all decided to move to one. Then, yeah, I just had to manually update the link. So we sort of still use it, but maybe it shouldn't be as prominent as it was before.
Okay, so how do I join this thing on this page?
Yeah, I think there is a link. There should be a link to the Hangout when it's live.
Okay, so I would suggest that if there is a way to join
an event, we might have the link. Yeah.
And that all this other business about starting the Hangout and editing Hangout links, that should be in the project actions menu or event actions, whatever it is.
Cool.
So is there any? Do we know when the event's live? Add the link here.
Once again, the question was.
What can we? Okay, so how can we make it easier to join the event when it's live? Is my question.
Yeah, if we have a button like this, something. Yeah. Well, I would say yes. Something join now. I would, yeah. Something like this. There are two things that the user can do. He can either join the Scrum, but he can also watch it live on YouTube because it's broadcasted. For instance, like this link now. If we go to YouTube by using this link, we can watch this broadcast, and I think that's a thing for them to be able to do if they don't want to join. Because what we've noticed that some people are hesitant about joining Scrum because they are like they don't want to talk to other people and stuff, you know. So for them to see this live link, it could be a good thing, basically.
Okay, so watch the
broadcast, live broadcast.
What broadcast?
Oh, stream is okay.
Okay, so let's ignore my crazy type sizes for a second. God. Is there any way we could do, you know, when the event is over, we could have another, you know, version of this. So okay, so if the event is live, we'd say, you know, this event is live, you know, join it or just watch it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not live because the event is in the past,
then this page will never be rendered.
Oh, never?
Well, the way we have set it up now, there's no way to go back and render that again. This index page only renders the upcoming events.
Yeah.
We have a different interface for past events, but this is only for future ones.
Then the other state, okay, so this event could be live or it could be happening in the future then.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's happening in the future, maybe we just don't show this box at all.
I would say so, yes. Because then we get rid of this problem that we have with live soon or something, you know. It's better not to show anything at all.
Okay, so I'll make a note of that on here later. Okay, anything else we need?
No, I think that's it.
So under event actions, you know, maybe we can come up with a better name for that, but you can start the Hangout and you can edit the Hangout link.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what actually happens when you click edit?
Yeah, it just allows you to edit the link. Maybe that's too much in the drop down. If we had a link, maybe there could be a tiny edit button beside it.
Well, let's have a look at the projects index page, see what we have there. No, not the project show page. If you go to website 1 or whatever on the side. We have, what is it, 3 or 4 different actions on project actions. Edit, project details, project pitch, and create new document. Okay, so we can edit the event. Let's say we can.
I think this is a better behavior. So you go, you know, edit Hangout link, Hangout details, whatever, and you just get an edit screen.
Mm-hmm. I would say it is, Ryan.
Okay. I wonder how it works right now, though. Well, okay, yeah.
Well, you know, what we can do, we could keep it on the same page, just make it visible. We can just talk, you know.
Yeah, sure.
But I would love to hide this from the user, from the normal standard user, because it's not his. It's just confusing. It's too much information. So let's say that we click that menu, edit Hangout link, and we just toggle visibility of this element, basically.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
Yeah. Cool. And then, you know, so edit Hangout link, edit the event itself, of course, under the event actions. And that's it. How would you guys feel? But that would complicate things a little bit. But you know, since we are using this act as follower gem on projects. How about if we add this functionality to an event that people could beforehand say that they would like to join, to like I will attend button or something like we have on joint projects. Perhaps they would like to give somebody a heads up that they will actually be there for this Scrum or for this pair programming session, what have you.
This thing here, are you going?
Yeah.
It might be. I actually really like this idea, but maybe it's a series of stories that happens, because if you're saying you need this done by early January,
yeah,
there's a lot of development that's implied with this particular interface.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I agree with you. It could be.
See, the real value of this is, if you indicate that yes, I'm going, you can forget about it. You can leave the page and not think about it again, and the system really should email you a reminder.
Yeah.
Like just before the event happens or something.
I agree. That's what I think I would expect when I say I'm going to an event. So that is a lot of functionality.
Okay, let's skip that for now. We can have that in mind for the future, basically, because it's a good idea, I think.
There's also, other things we could do. Like add this to my calendar. You just download the I don't know what it's called, but that little file that you double-click it and it adds it to your operating system's calendar.
Yeah. Yeah. Good idea.
But that would be, like we would do this first, and then, when there's more time.
No, I think this is enough, basically. I mean, it's clean. It's not too much information, and
yeah, it is a big improvement over our current one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Can you paste that over the current information?
You just want to see them side by side?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I would like to see this inside of the whole window frame kind of thing.
Okay. Hold on a sec.
Yeah.
So this is not an aesthetic design at all, but but what I can do is when I sit down to do the other lo-fi, I can port this over to the other file and match up the style so it looks like the other lo-fi's did.
Yeah, sure, but it looks good so far. But yeah, some small touching up never hurts. Nice.
All right.
Cool. Okay, so if you could just for the sake of it, if you could save this as a PNG and attach that to that pivotal tracker, even if you're gonna make some, you can swap that later if you do some finishing up on this file.
Sure.
And then we could just vote on that particular story. To create this.
Cool.
Okay. So I have the screenshot. Let's just get this out of the way. What's the name of this? How do I find the story? Update event show page?
Update event show page, yes, sir.
Here we go.
All right.
You got it.
Yes. Not yet. Not yet. I don't.
There it goes. It's on there now.
Okay. Hmm. Really? Oh, there we go. Yes. So we know everything we need to know about this. So it's purely it's pure UI changes. Well, actually, didn't we speak about having a subtitle yesterday to events, right?
I don't recall that. Sorry.
You know, we you know that lately Sam started to add who is the Scrum Master and stuff, you know, and he wants that displayed.
Oh, I thought that was going to be part of the description.
Yeah, one could think so. However, it's not, because he wants that to be displayed on the you know, here on the front page, on the landing page. He uses, you know, Euro Asia Scrum with Sam Joseph, basically. So I don't know if so he just makes the title longer. But my idea was perhaps we should have a subtitle, and because the description.
What do you think about this? I don't know if you're still looking at my screen here.
Yes. The thing is that this is good, but it would require us to have some more logic, because this Scrum Master is only for Scrums, you know, for events in the category of Scrum. Then pair programming doesn't have Scrum Masters, but rather hosts. That's one thing.
Okay, how about this? Watch this. Host.
Yeah.
Dash Scrum Master.
Yes. The objection that I personally think is a good idea. I know that one of the things that Sam has talked about, and I don't know if this in any way conflicts with that idea, is that, you know, on Google Plus, if I schedule a pair programming session and then I cannot show up, that session cannot never be started by anybody else, only by me, you know. So then somebody else has to set that up again. In website 1, if I schedule a pair programming session and I cannot show up, then somebody else can start it. So and Sam has mentioned that as a big plus, a big, you know, thing for us. That you know is one of the reasons why he wants to move over from Google Plus to website 1 for the MOOC students. So if we have this host Scrum Master thing as an attribute, I don't know if that kind of conflicts with this idea that anybody can host a Scrum or a pair programming session, if you follow my thinking here.
Well, what if it's just a text field or something, and then it doesn't have any influence over whether or
No, I understand that, but could this display that on the page? We kind of set like an owner of this event, even though in practical terms he's not an owner, because, you know, there are no restrictions for any other user to start this event. But it kind of implies that this is an event owned by Sam in this case, and then that would scare some people off from hosting that. I don't know. I don't know. I just try to foresee what objections could be, you know, we could face with this. Personally, I think it's a good thing. I think we could have that. Brian, do you have any opinion on this?
I don't really have an opinion, but I think I'd like to speak to Sam about this. I don't see this as a critical feature we need now, so perhaps we can postpone the decision on this.
Okay.
All right. Let's keep it as it is then. Okay. So yeah, are we ready to vote, or do we need to talk about something more in regard of the story?
I'm ready.
All right. Okie dokie. Let's.
In this case, update events show page. If we just attach the screenshot, yeah, okay, it's attached. Do we need the other story up there? Add a pull-down menu.
No, we don't. We can remove that.
Yeah,
Story
I
then.
think that can be all part of the update events show page.
Yes.
Cool.
So, can we vote?
Yeah.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
Cool, unanimous.
So, how did you feel? It should be a 2.
Who are we talking to?
No, anybody of you guys. Brian, why did you set 2 on this one?
Well, it's mostly a UI change. We have all the information we need. So I think, yeah, it's just a 2 dealing with the HTML.
It would be a 1 for me, except for there's a little bit of messing around with JavaScript.
Yeah.
And there are some tests that needs to be refactored also.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's why I set that 2. And the jQuery things and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So this is what we can work on. And also another thing that makes this a little complicated, that there is a lot of code attached to this show page now that we need to clean out, basically. There's some JavaScript libraries and some helpers and stuff, I think. It was quite complicated when we renamed the model. We run into some issues with this. Yeah. So there's a lot of cucumber tests that are written kind of in a strange way that needs to be.
All that stuff surrounding editing the Hangout link.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably all going to go.
Yeah.
As when you choose edit Hangout link, you're going to go to another page. Like an edit form.
All right.
Right.
Cool. So, Brian, you want ownership of anything of this?
Sorry, could you repeat that again?
Do you want to take ownership of this update events show page story?
Sure. I'll be happy to.
All right. And you and I can pair on that, and I know that Michael wanted to join us. He's not here today though, but hopefully he can join us tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Christopher, you're also welcome, of course, to pair program with us on this. And
do you know when you're likely to be working on it?
I don't know if we're gonna start today, but tomorrow evening, hopefully. If you do, you
Around
think
this time, like
yeah,
around this time.
I might have time tomorrow. Yeah.
1900 UTC is a good time for both of us usually.
Okay, let me mark that down, and I'll try to get online around that time.
Cool.
Yeah, and if you could do the final changes on that Twitter thing, I would love that, because I really want to push this out. I was ready to push it out yesterday already, but Brian talked me out of it. Oh.
Okay, the only thing, so I made the change to the content for that tweet. The only thing, Brian, you had an issue with that after save.
I think
I'm just going to take it out. I'm not going to argue with it because it's not a major thing anyway.
Yeah, but if your tests fail, if you take it out, you shouldn't,
No, what I mean is the code that's contained in the after hook, I'll just move that into the tests themselves, so it'll be slightly less dry.
Yeah, but I think the after hook is not normally for this kind of thing. After thinking about it, I kind of realized how it works, but it's not when the test fails,
It's for it's to be used for teardown, right? And I'm
yeah,
not using
it's
it
supposed to be for
properly.
teardown. It's not really for what you're doing is not really teardown. It's part of the test, so it
Okay.
shouldn't be in the after each anyway.
I'll change that.
All right.
Yeah. I
Great.
think you can use something like when you use do something like allow something to receive a method, you can later call something expect to have received something. So that way you can have the hangout.save above the expectation. So you can have that in the before each, if that makes sense.
No.
Let me try. Let me try and find something. An example.
And while you guys do that, I'm going to check semaphore.
Right. So, you know the way you expect something to receive this? I just sent a link on the chat. There is a way to reverse the logic so that you can do something like expect something to have received this.
So the problem is that it's not enough to set up a message expectation. That
no,
hangout actually has to be saved in order to trigger the after save hook or before save hook, whatever it is.
Right.
Because the whole Twitter thing depends on that save actually occurring.
Okay.
Because if the save doesn't save for whatever reason, then we don't want to send out a tweet
Okay.
that contains wrong information
Fair enough.
about a hangout that doesn't exist or something.
Sure. But I think what I'm suggesting is just I think your test is correct. It's just a slightly different way to write it. And here they're using spy, the method spy, but there's another way to do it, which is when you do the allow to receive, you can later call that method. You can later check whether or not something has received something. I'm not sure if I'm making any sense there. I think it. Okay, let me try and write some pseudocode.
I understand the concept of a spy, but what we're not. I guess I don't understand how this fits in with how the test actually is working.
I'm just saying, well, using this approach, you can move your hangout.save into the before each rather than in the after each. So if you do something like allow Twitter service, something like that, and then you call hangout, you can later do something like this.
Oh, I see.
And then you can do that in your test.
Interesting.
That way, yeah, you don't need to have the hangout.save below the expectation, because it's kind of weird when it's like the logic's reverse. You have your verification step above your setup. So this way you put it back into the setup area. So it's just easier to read, follow the logic.
Yeah, okay, I understand now. I'll try that.
Cool.
I didn't know about have received.
Yeah, I think it's a new thing. I didn't know about it until recently as well.
I have a problem here with semaphore.
What's wrong?
Well, I don't know how to add branches to this project. You see, when I try to set up a new deployment server,
Uh-huh.
and I set it up, select the branch you wish to deploy from, and he only has develop branch configured. So that tells me, of course, that I should kind of, you know, set up branch. So it says branches here, and priority branches. So I just type this in: develop staging master. One regular expression per line. From whitelist. What is the whitelist? Whitelist entry. That should be automatically tested on semaphore. Build new branches. I don't know how this works, really. Yes. I'm not sure at all how this. You don't have any experience with semaphore, Christopher, do you?
I don't have any experience with this, or Travis, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, what if I? Let's see here. Where is that?
Maybe he needs to build it first.
Yeah, but how do I set that? Because we recently pulled it up. Where do I set?
I think I just ran the build for staging. Maybe you could check again.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. New branch staging added, of course. So let's wait until this is done, and try to add the master branch. Let's see if we can do something. Deployment, add server. Oh yeah. API key for staging. Apps. Website 1 staging. Yes. Activity access. So how do I get Oh. There you go. Huh. So that didn't work. Interesting. Okay. I can't seem to be able to set this up right now. And there's something wrong with semaphore right now because this takes way too long time, or perhaps not. All right. Okay, I'll try to set this up later because it doesn't seem to be working right now. Any other business we need to take care of right now?
No, I'm going to send through the updated Twitter thing in a few minutes.
Okay.
Cool.
Then we can try to push it out to develop and make it all the way to production as soon as possible, Brian.
Sure.
All right. Then I guess I see you tomorrow evening. All right.
Cool.
I'll see you guys.
Great session. Thanks for dropping by. You helped us a lot with this lo-fi thing, Christopher.
Yeah, that's fun.
All right.
Cool.
I'll talk to you tomorrow, guys.
All right,
Okay.
talk to you guys. See
So
ya.
long. So long.
Yeah.